Hi class, today you guys are going to learn about our first exercise, exercise 1, which deals with measurement. What you guys are going to need is this measurement exercise packet, or at least the first page of it. You're going to need a speed square, you're going to need a pencil, you are going to need a 2x4, and you're going to need a tape measure. Now, when you first grab a tape measure, I want you to take a look at the very end of it. It should look nice and square, and this is a big part to measuring accurately, is making sure the tool that you are using is in good shape. A lot of times these tape measures can get dropped and they'll land on the tip and they will start to bend, and then you're going to be left with measurements that don't really match up to anyone else. Here's an example of one of those tips. So as you can see here, maybe right there's a little better, this guy has quite a curve to it. It's been dropped too many times. And when you hook this to measure, you're going to be getting measurements that are way different than what actually should be. So if you run into one of these, sometimes they are fixable if we just grab alignment pliers and we kind of work to get this back where it belongs. And sometimes they are just done with their useful life. So keep that in mind. From here, I'm going to show you guys exactly what you will be doing in class, and it's going to save us some time to give you more work time in class. So enjoy the video, and we will work on this as soon as you guys get back in class. All right, guys, we got our board. We have our speed square. We have a pencil. We have our exercise sheet, and we have a tape measure. So this is just going to show you a little bit of how this is going to go. So when you get in class, it should go nice and smooth. So I have my 2x4 in front of me, and we're just going to go through step by step. We got our 2x4. We're going to make 10 randomly spaced pencil marks all throughout the face. Again, when we do marks, we like to have this little crow's foot, because then we know that we're going to go right through the center of that. What we don't want to do is just have one line, because then later on you might wonder, do I do this point? Do I do this point? Do I do somewhere in the middle? So we don't want to have that happen. I also see sometimes people mark like this, and then this is about an 1/8 inch wide. We're not going to get an accurate measurement if we do that. So we'll make sure that we always have ourselves a point. Now, the boards you get might have some old nail holes in it, so you just get to work around them. What do I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and for the camera's sake, 10. There we go. All right, so 10 randomly spaced lines, and then I got my speed square. So again, we have this nice lip here. That lip just goes right up against the edge of a board. We can square right across. You guys will do that exact same thing. Now I'm drawing my lines pretty hard and pretty dark. That's just for you guys to kind of see at home. You don't have to be as aggressive with your pencil. All right, so there's my 10 marks. Label one end of the face, letter L for left and the other for right, okay? L, R, and again, you guys will be able to use your whole board. For demo's sake, I'm leaving this part empty. So there we have that, perfect. Write your name in the upper left. You guys do the same. This is an important part, but it doesn't make sense until the end, other than just identifying your board. All right, step 4 already. Write the letters A, B, C, D with each line. You'll get up to J. All right, and then from here is where we get to work with our packet. You see it has letters A through J listed. And what you guys are going to do is we're going to hook the left end of your board, and then you are going to start measuring and recording your measurements. So I have 3 3/16. I'm going to write that down. And then I have 5 7/16. You won't have to verbalize it like I'm doing. I have 7 15/16. But you will have to write down every single one of these as you go. I got 11 7/16. 17 7/8. All right, now here is kind of one where it is almost directly in between two divisions here. Let me, actually, we'll leave that. But what you get to do is just kind of go with the closer one. And then just remember that in construction, at least as far as framing goes, if we're within 1/16 of an inch for what we do, we're going to be just fine. And for the grading purposes in this class, if you are within 1/16 of an inch every single time, you are off to a great start and can have a long career in construction. Of course, we'd like you to be right on every time, but if you're within a 16th, you're going to be in real good shape. Okay, last one, 26 and 27 7/8. Sweet. And then overall length of the board, so I guess you get one more. 46 3/8 is mine. Okay. All right, so number 6 talks about on the edge of your 2x4. So this is where we get into some of the terminology. This is the face of your board. We turn it up. This is the edge of your board. We take a look at the very end of your board right here. So you have face, edge, and end. You need to be very familiar with those terms. That's just what we need. All right, so on one edge of your 2x4, lay out a new set of marks by subtracting 11/16 from letter C through letter H. So here's my letter C. Here's my letter H. Two methods of making this happen is you take these numbers here, you run through the math, and you subtract 11/16 from each. There is no problem doing this. You're going to get a whole second set of numbers that then you'll turn this up on the edge, and you will measure out those new numbers. You're going to come up with the correct answer, and what we do want in this class is you guys to get the correct answer, but what we also want is for you guys to get pretty efficient at doing things. So that method of subtracting 11/16 mathematically from each one of those will take some time. So what we're going to have you guys do is something a little different, and I'm going to change the camera real quick for that, so bear with me. Okay, that'll work. Perfect. So I did mark out my C right here so I can see that. I need to take 11/16 off of that. Now, it doesn't matter what my letter C was at. What will matter is I'm going to line this up where this C was with number 8. Let me just get this a little more centered for you. From here, if I just measure back 11/16 right there, now I just subtracted 11/16 without having to do all of that extra measurement. So then it really doesn't matter what your marks were in the first place. What you may have to do is just kind of extend them over the edge of that. And this time, I'm going to use another whole number 12, whatever is convenient. And I'm going to make my mark. And we can keep doing that all the way down. So what you're seeing is by just taking the tape measure and starting at any random whole inch and subtracting 11/16, we're going to get the marks that we need. From here, again, we'll just grab our speed square. We can put it right on that point, but the speed square up to it. Make your lines. Then you got C, then you got D, and you do that all the way through H. All right, now the very last part of this, you're going to need a partner, and you're going to flip the board over, and we would label partner in the corner. And what's going to happen is your partner is going to read off their numbers to you. I don't want them to give you their packet and say, here you go. The whole purpose of this is for one person to read off the numbers and for the other person to listen and hear it and then transfer that over based on what you heard. Super common in construction that one person is reading off a measurement and the other person's taking it down. So one partner will do that. You'll make all your marks just as they read it as you're measuring through. So if they say 7 1/4, I'm going to mark out 7 1/4. And then we keep going. I'll square them up and then we switch. And I will read it to my partner. And then we just compare boards and see how we did. So that is exercise 1, measurement, that you guys will be doing in class.